Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Left or Right podcast. And this time we have more topics and even a few new crew members. So let's get started to introducing them. And also, Joel won't be in this episode today because he had some family emergency pop up. So please keep him in your prayers. And let's get started. Austin, introduce yourself.
All right. Hi, I'm Austin. I'd say politically, I lean more like conservatively, but I still can be swayed both ways. But I'd say that I'm more conservative than anything.
All right, Simon.
Hello, my name's Simon Pinkertz, and I'd like to say that politically, I lean more liberal, and I consider myself a socialist.
All right, and now let's hop into the first topic. So this week, the winner of the New York City Democrat primary was announced, and that guy is Eric Adams. And he won the New York City mayoral election in the final round with 50.5% of the vote. And the girl in second place, Catherine Garcia, got 49.5% of the vote. Sorry. And what do you guys think about that?
This is the Democrat, right?
Yeah, Democrat.
Okay.
I mean, this just goes to show that, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez didn't have as much influence as she thought. I mean, she she recommended a bunch of candidates for mayoral election, and neither of them were chosen. Which, I wasn't expecting them to. I mean, looking at all the polls and stuff, Eric Adams was ahead by a lot. So, I'm not surprised by this result at all. I just think it's kind of funny how Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was like, yeah, vote for these two guys. These are my top two choices.
She said she actually endorsed Maya Wiley, and she got in the first round, let's just say the first round, she got 21.3% of the vote. She didn't even make it into the final round. So, and this just shows that let's just say New York City, or in total the state of New York, because New York City sways most of the vote in the state of New York, controls. They don't want progressivism, they don't want what AOC wants. I mean, Maya Wiley even got endorsed by Chris Evans. That's a dude who played Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it took her where? Nowhere. It took her actually nowhere. And it just shows that the progressive movement isn't as strong as what they thought it was. So
well, it's not like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez represents all of New York City. She only represents one little small district, yet she's acting like she represents the entire city. And it's just kind of funny to see how it all turned out for her.
Yeah. Austin, what do you have to say?
Well, he really said it all. I don't really have any input.
All right, Simon.
Well, Cortez, I think, really doesn't. She might. She's very unsuccessful in Congress, but it's kind of cool that because Eric Adams isn't a very left. He doesn't lean very left, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's not as left as most of the other candidates. I'd say the only person who's further right than Eric Adams was Andrew Yang.
I would have rather Andrew Yang won.
Yeah,
that's actually the most disappointing part about this election. He was actually probably the most popular guy. If you really come to think about it, everyone knew him from his presidential run.
He wasn't that popular in New York.
Well, let's just say this: on TikTok, he's very popular, and people liked him. He's a good guy. And, because of his presidential run, where a ton of Gen Z came together and said, we like this guy, people thought that he was going to win.
Yeah.
But that's not how it turned out at all. He got fourth place in the first round.
Zane, Gen Z is not a very smart generation. So.
I didn't say it was a smart generation either. All right, I'm just saying that's a candidate they rallied behind during the presidential election. Yang Gang. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember the
Yang Gang.
Make America think harder.
That's like the top of that's when political TikTok, started gaining interest, and people liked Andrew Yang, and he lost. And he didn't lose by just a little bit. He lost by a lot.
Oh yeah.
But he lost by a lot. He way underperformed, in my opinion. And it's actually kind of disappointing because I did want him to win. So, whatever. Whatever,
I don't know. Let's just see how things go from New York, or go from here for New York, and let's see what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez does next, because this obviously put a dent
Yeah.
in her career.
Oh, yeah. It definitely did. And I think she's actually thinking of making a primary run in 2022 against Chuck Schumer for the New York Senate seat. And if she does that, she's going to lose.
Yeah.
She's going to lose. What do you think the Republican candidate Curtis Lewa has a chance at winning the election though in New York City?
Not really.
No.
Being
Why
completely
not?
honest, not really.
I mean, I
Yeah.
want him to win, but I know he probably won't have a good shot at winning.
I
Yeah,
mean, big cities typically vote left.
I
Democrat.
like and Curtis Lewa though. He's a good candidate. And
Yeah.
if you're listening and you're from New York City, I'd recommend looking into his campaign and seeing if you agree with it. Don't just vote at Eric Adams because he's a Democrat. Look into what both of these candidates believe, look into what you personally believe, and then vote based on that. That's a recommendation to all the New York City listeners, if there are any.
There might be one. I don't know. I mean, Zane, how many listeners does this usually get?
We had 30 listeners last episode. So, let's get 20 more, and the odds are in our favor, because that's one state. That's one viewer per every state, estimately, which means if you get one from New York, most likely from New York City,
Yeah.
with that math. Anyways, let's talk about the Delta variant. So because of this new Delta variant that's spreading all across the United States of America, there's been a push for more COVID restrictions. What do you guys think about this?
Well, I may consider myself a liberal, but I'm really against it because, well, I got both my shots and I'm not super worried about it. I think it's almost over. If everyone gets vaccinated, they're fine at this point, right?
You'd assume. You would
Yeah.
assume. But there are a ton of people who aren't vaccinated, but I don't really think vaccination helps anything because there were these numbers out of the UK, I think. There's these numbers out of the UK where there were 121 vaccinated people who died of COVID in that week, and there were 91 unvaccinated people who died from COVID that week. So
I mean,
I don't know. The numbers may be a little off on that. It might be for the unvaccinated, it might be like 92, 93, 94. I don't know. But I think for vaccinated, it's exactly 121. I think.
Yeah, I really don't care about this whole Delta variant thing. I'm really not at all in favor of going into lockdown. I mean, it just hurts American business. It really just hurts the American people.
Hurts the economy.
COVID really wasn't that big of a deal in the first place. It was really only killing elderly people or people who had severe health conditions. I mean, sorry, not severe health conditions, but people who had health conditions. And even then, for example, I know people who are not at all in the best of shape in their lives. Like their bodies are just completely worn and torn. And they got COVID.
Yeah.
And after 2 weeks, they were fine. I got COVID. I was fine after a couple of days. I'm not worried about it. I'm not really worried about this new Delta variant thing. I mean, I don't see it as being a major problem. I don't see it as being a major threat. I don't think we need to go back into lockdown whatsoever. It's not like it's going to end the human race. It's really just a slightly stronger version of what we already faced. And even then, it's just nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, but things can change. So it might change. It might grow worse. But looking at it now, I don't think it's going to get worse. I really don't.
Okay, Austin.
The first round of restrictions in the United States didn't really do too much because if you looked at the numbers, people in states that had pretty restrictive lockdowns, they were still getting cases and people were dying. And I don't really think that they should have another restrict. Maybe like bring back the mask mandate, but like don't restrict it to like restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you
Maybe.
need to be shutting anything down. You know,
Yeah.
we've gone through one wave of COVID. We've gone through multiple waves of COVID actually, and
Yeah.
now I think time is coming. The virus is. I think we're gonna see it's gonna stop. You know, it'll run down. The cases will get extremely low, and then we'll be fine. You know, we'll be just fine. So I don't think there's any reason to push COVID restrictions. Because all it does is affect people's mental health. You know, suicides were up last year,
Mhm.
and is specifically students, kids were not having the greatest mental health during this time because it's hard to learn when you're a little kid via Zoom. I mean, you got to think there's kindergartners and first graders and second graders who went through a year or two of learning online. And I mean, they're not going to be the smartest kids because it's not easy to pay
Yeah.
attention online. You need to be interactive. The teacher needs to be with the kids, but online is not good. And with new restrictions, that's what's going to happen even more, which we should just stop. We need kids to interact with their teachers, you know?
I would be pro lockdown if there wasn't a vaccine already, but there is. And if you haven't gotten it, then you can suffer the consequences.
I'm all down to get COVID again. I really don't care to get vaccinated.
You know what? I don't think I've gotten COVID, and I'm also not vaccinated either. And I don't plan on getting vaccinated either. And if I get it, I get it, you know. I'll be fine.
I've been exposed to it, but I don't think I've had it yet.
Alrighty, so our next topic is about something that happened in Haiti recently. Their president, Jovenel Moise, I think that's how you say his name, got assassinated on July 7th, 2021. Got assassinated, and his wife was actually wounded in the attack. She's in critical condition as of right now. She is being hospitalized. And this comes after a lot of backlash to Moise for not leaving office or not having an election when he was supposed to have an election. But he said that because of things that happened in the past, he deserved another year in his term, and it caused a lot of problems in Haiti. And then some gunmen killed him. We don't know who those gunmen are yet. What do you guys think?
I mean, we have a lot of suspects. Oh, you go.
Oh no, you go.
No, you.
Okay. I heard on the news somewhere that like some of the one or two of the culprits were like American. I don't know if that was like true or not. It's just something I picked up on.
Yeah, but I think I've heard that there's theories that the CIA could have been involved in this. But why would the CIA be involved with this? You know, why would the CIA be involved with this?
I mean, America's involved in everything.
Yeah, but why would they want to kill that president? You know, there's no reason.
I don't know.
There's no gain.
I was reading that. I was reading from. I want to say The Guardian. I was reading an article from The Guardian, and they were saying that right now they have 2 American suspects, and the rest of the suspects are believed to be Colombians who snuck into the country to assassinate the president. That is who is apparently believed to have killed people right now. And the 2 Americans, they're both Florida residents, and they apparently did not take part in the attacks. They were mainly just translators for the attackers. I mean, I think it's a pretty bad situation. I mean, Haiti is one of the poorest countries in the world, and they just lost their leader, and now they're having political unrest, and they asked for help from the U.S. and the UN. They asked for military troops, and what's her name? Jen Psaki or whatever her name is.
Saki.
Sorry, Saki. She said we would be sending them FBI agents, which is not exactly what they asked for, but I guess it's what they're gonna get. So yeah, I think it's a pretty bad situation, but I mean, this is just kind of stuff that happens in other countries. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, you know? what's happening, because it's actually a leader of a country who just got shot and killed, which there hasn't been that much of that, I think, in our general lifetime.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big deal. What do you have to say, Simon?
Ransacked his house.
Aren't we also sending some people from the Department of Homeland and Security?
Most likely, yeah.
Mhm.
And do you know why they declined the troops?
I
Who
do
knows?
not.
Who knows why?
So why?
Okay,
So I don't have much to say on this one.
all right.
I mean, I think
Austin-
it sucks that his wife was injured too. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
usually they should. I think they really should have just gone after the husband if they were really trying to kill them. I don't think they should have gone after the whole family.
Yeah,
mean, also they-
the wife did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wife was just most likely just chilling with her husband,
Yeah, just chill.
and then she died. I mean, not she. He died.
Also-
Oops, my bad.
Also, they had to have completely planned out this attack because the president, his house was supposed to be locked down. He was supposed to have a minimum of 10 guards. And they somehow found a loophole into this. I mean, yeah, I mean, this took, I guess, a month of planning is what the two Americans claim to have said. So it was a
But
pretty
how
big.
can we
operation.
trust that they actually killed them? You know.
Mhm.
I mean, according to those two, they're Florida residents. I forget their names. I can pull up their names if you want.
No, it's fine. There's no need.
Okay. Yeah, but they're Florida residents, and they claim that they just acted as translators for the attackers. And also, from what we know, I guess the actual attackers are from Colombia, which doesn't really make sense unless they were like a hired group of assassins.
You'd think they'd be
Yeah.
either Haitian or Dominican Republican.
Yeah.
I know, but everyone's saying that they're from Colombia, which
That's weird.
does not make. CNN was saying that they're from Colombia, and the Guardian was saying that they're from Colombia, which doesn't
Huh.
really make a whole lot of sense considering that they're assassinating the president of Haiti. You would expect the citizens of Haiti to be the ones killing their own president, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a sad situation that's going on in Haiti. There's a ton of unrest, so prayers to Haiti. Let's hope Haiti
Yeah.
gets through this. They've
Yeah.
they've already been troubled with hard times because of their situation being one of the poorest countries in the entire world. So prayers to Haiti. Let's hope
Mhm.
that they get through this difficult time. And another country that's going through a difficult time is Afghanistan. As
Mhm.
America pulls out of Afghanistan, the Taliban is gaining a lot of ground in the state of Afghanistan. What do you guys have to say about this?
Honestly, I think it kind of sucks they're pulling out of Afghanistan, but at the same time, I feel we need to be pulling out of Afghanistan. I mean, it really does suck for the Afghanistan government. I mean, they're obviously gonna lose. I mean, I hate to say it, but the second we pulled out of there, the Taliban's just gonna overrun them. I mean, it's already a known fact, but I feel as though we need to pull out of there. I definitely think that our involvement in the Middle East should go down. I really
Yeah.
think that we should be focusing on America right now. I really don't think we should be dealing with the Middle East. I mean, the Middle East has caused us a lot of problems. I mean, we get a lot of our stuff out of there, like oil and stuff. I mean, even some of the clothes we wear are manufactured over there. But I
Yeah.
really think that we should be definitely lowering our involvement in the Middle East. Sorry, I couldn't speak there for a sec.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
with
it is a sad situation because
Yeah.
the Afghanistan government's definitely going to fall. The Taliban are probably going to run rampant over there, and they're going to probably cause some more wars. I mean, especially with the neighboring countries. I mean, I can't pronounce the name, but it's on the border of Afghanistan. They beefed up their
Kazakhstan?
border. What?
Kazakhstan?
Yes, that one. I can't pronounce that name. They beefed up their border. They sent a bunch of troops to their border to keep people from Afghanistan out. So I think it's going to cause definite problems in the Middle East. We're going to be seeing a major increase in violence over there. But I do think it was the right move by America. Now we just need to pull out of like the rest of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that we should start slowly doing that over time. We need to get out of there.
I'll just do it all immediately and disrupt all the business.
Yeah, well, it's gonna happen slowly. It's hard to do it immediately,
Yeah.
fast. Because there's a ton of people that we have in the Middle East right now.
I mean, not even soldiers. I'm just talking business and investors and everything. Because we've got oil, we've got clothing companies, we've got a bunch of manufacturers over there.
Also,
And
it's not Kazakhstan. It's either Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, or Tajikistan.
That's a lot of
Sorry,
stands.
it's the one that starts with a T.
Tajikistan. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's
It's
simple
Tajikistan.
enough.
I can't pronounce any of the names over there besides Jordan and Lebanon and
What about
Saudi
Israel?
Arabia. I guess I can pronounce that too.
What does anyone else have to say about the situation in Afghanistan?
Well, it's been like a war that's almost lasted 20 years here. So it's kind of about time because we have troops dying there. And I don't know if the Afghans going to collapse. But there's not much we can do after being there for 20 years at almost, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's two options. We could either pull out or we could just actually do something about it. I'm not saying nuclear power, but we definitely have the military capabilities to just, if we decided to actually focus on it, we could easily destroy the Taliban completely.
Yeah.
It's just we're not entirely focused on it.
Yeah, but if we
which-
like get into a very, let's say, a very violent and like fight with the Taliban, you've got
I'm not saying violent. I'm not saying we have to.
Yeah,
use
no, I
nukes.
know, but you
there's
have
some other bombs that we can
you
easily just
have
decimate.
Iran who wants to attack you then. You have
Yeah.
China who wants to attack you then. You have Russia that wants to attack you then. That's three countries, three very powerful when it comes to military countries. You don't want to deal with Iran, China, or Russia. You really don't. And if you get
Yeah.
into a major involvement with the Taliban, they're all allies, supposedly. It's allegedly.
We can take Iran and we can take the Taliban, but yeah, Russia
China
and
and Russia.
Yeah.
But even
Especially
Iran, they
after
have a ton of nuclear power. They really do. And I want to rule them out,
Yeah, I know, but I don't see that. Okay, Zane, I don't think they would nuke their own people if we sent a
no,
bunch
I
of
know,
troops
I know.
into their land.
But they still have good military power.
They would nuke us, and then that would give us the right to nuke them back, and we could wipe that country off the face of the earth. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but yeah.
All right, is that it? Are we done with that topic?
Well,
I guess so.
Russia
Yeah.
has the fourth highest military spending budget. And so they are really, truly a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they are. They are a force to be reckoned with. Now let's talk about something that's happening in America. Let's get out of the international stuff. There are American teachers throughout our nation that said that the critical race theory is reasonable for kids to learn. What do you guys have to say about this?
I really don't think we should be educating anyone who's not even in middle school about anything political, really.
Yeah.
We also really shouldn't be educating kids on how to see race. I mean, racists see race. Why should we
Yeah.
be telling kids to see race when that's exactly what we've tried to stop for years upon years? Like, you want to end racism, stop telling kids to see race and act like everything's based on race. It's just kind of stupid. I mean, why would you teach
Yeah.
little kids that are very impressionable about something that can completely change their outlook on life? It's something that will stick with these kids forever because they're young, they're impressionable, and you don't want to be teaching that to kids. You don't want to be teaching anything that will affect kids for the rest of their lives at such a young age, especially something like critical race theory that is so damaging to Americans. Or not damaging to Americans, but damaging to American ideals.
Yeah, and I think that it's not really focused on teaching racism throughout the past. I think it's mostly focusing on one race over all.
White man bad.
Yeah.
All others hating on everyone else. That's what I see it as.
I've seen a lot about critical race theory, and mainly what I've gotten from it is we cannot blame other races for their problems, and that white people need to check their privilege.
Yeah. Austin, what do you have to say?
is kind of on Ethan's point, but yeah, I don't think you should be, teaching kids who, their minds are still developing. So, if you teach them this at a young age, it's gonna stick with them to like adulthood. They're gonna become an adult and think that this is like how the world works, which it isn't.
Yeah. Simon, what do you have to say?
Well, critical race theory is just a different way to look at things, and I'm not against it being taught, but I mean, they can teach other things too. They can teach other theories. They should just educate you on all of them. Just different ways to look at things. So I'm not gonna say I'm against it. And this has also been a huge topic because Fox News just likes to rally up on one thing every other week.
Well,
But I mean, why would you teach kids about race theories on race? I mean, that's not something you exactly teach kids. You teach kids basic math. You teach kids how to read and write. You're not going to sit there and educate kids on political theories or political philosophy. Even that's something that you do to high schoolers or 7th and 8th graders. I mean, you don't even do it to 6th graders. I mean, some colleges still study political philosophies. It's not something you do to like kindergartners and teach them, oh, look at this person. I mean, that's not something you
some
do to
kindergartners don't even know the alphabet yet.
Yeah, you should be teaching kids the ABCs. You shouldn't be teaching them how to determine whether someone's good or bad. I mean, kids that age don't even know basic history yet.
Yeah.
I mean, at least wait until they get into the 4th and 5th grade when they actually start learning history. I mean, it's not a good idea to be teaching kids about stuff when you do need an educated background to at least grasp what is being taught.
Or just don't teach them it at all.
Yeah, that works too.
So why would you educate kids on all the different theories when really
I don't think that we should look at issues based on race. There's no point to look at it like that. We're one race. We are humans.
Yeah, the human race.
We are
What about
one. NASCAR is with cars. That not with
There's no
humans.
race. The human race.
What about NASCAR? All right, so with that said, we approach our final topic, which is the door-to-door get your coronavirus vaccine campaign. This week, Joe Biden and his administration, not campaign, announced that they are going to knock on people's doors and encourage them to get the coronavirus vaccine. What do you have to say about this, guys?
I'm not against it.
Why aren't you against it?
Oh, sorry. Well, because it's just you can deny it, you can tell them no, and you can. And why wouldn't they encourage this? It's something very important for the safety of others. If you want to protect other people, you should really get the vaccine. And 99.9% of deaths of COVID are unvaccinated people. I forget what state it was, but all their deaths in the past week were unvaccinated citizens or unvaccinated. And that's why you should really get the vaccine, because you're endangering yourself and others. And what that politician on the internet says, I forget who it was, but they were going on about how they were going to start taking their guns and their Bibles. That's ridiculous, because if it's the radical conservative narrative, they're going to come and take our gun and Bible. Like, we hunt, and I'm pro-gun, but they're not going to come door to door taking your guns.
I don't think that they I forget what I was going to say. Never mind. I forget what I was going to say.
I don't really think that they need to be sending government officials or just anyone door to door. I mean, if you have a no soliciting sign, you have a no soliciting sign.
Yeah.
I mean, it's people's choice whether they want to get the vaccine or not. They can encourage us all they want, but it's really the people's choice. And I don't think we should be wasting our money going door to door asking, "Hey, do you want to get the vaccine?"
Yeah, and if people haven't gotten the vaccine already, chances are they're not going to get it.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Like, everyone already knows about the vaccine, so it's just up to the people. I don't think we should be wasting our time and money when there's better things we could be focusing on. I'm not saying that encouraging people to get the vaccine is bad, but we've already encouraged people to get the vaccine so much. And like, there's already so many advertisements out there to just encourage people to go get the vaccine.
And
Like
celebrities.
Nevada, we're doing a lottery for people who get the vaccine. Like that's enticement to get the vaccine.
They're
I
doing it
don't
in
think we need.
Ohio too, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we need to be going door to door asking people to get the vaccine. I think it's just a waste of time and money. And I mean, I really don't care to have government officials going door to door. I mean, that's already showing that government officials can go door to door and they can do other things.
They could also run online ad campaigns. Why do you need to go door to door?
Yeah.
No.
I just think it's kind of a waste of time and money.
Yeah. What do you have to
Which
say,
I think-
Austin?
I think any advertising at this point is just a waste of time and money because everyone in America knows about the vaccine. They obviously know about coronavirus. I think it's just pointless. Just leave it up to the people because they're the ones getting the vaccine.
Yeah. All right. What do you have to say, Austin?
Austin? Hello? 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 Simon, do you have anything to add to this topic?
Well, with the vaccine push, I also think it's kind of damaging because radical Taylor Green is gonna say some stupid comment like mention the Jewish space lasers or make some stupid comment about the Holocaust because all she does is she never shuts up.
But she hasn't said anything about the Jews or the Holocaust relating to this door-to-door vaccine campaign.
She will. She never stops saying stuff.
But what if she
Wait,
doesn't? All right, Austin.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about the door-to-door vaccine campaign?
Hold on, wait. Am I working now?
Yeah, you're working.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone was kind of lagging. Like Ethan said, I think it's kind of pointless to go door to door around to get these people to get the vaccine because if they haven't gotten it now, vaccine like advertisements and stuff, like through the roof. You see them everywhere. You see them on like YouTube ads and stuff like that. If they're not getting it now, what makes you think a government official going door to door is gonna make them and persuade them to get it? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. I mean, there's been literal famous celebrities saying, go get your vaccine. You can search it up online. You could Google where you should get your shot. If people aren't vaccinated or if they haven't gotten their first shot yet by now, they're not going to want to get it. Because, I mean, there's a ton of COVID shots. There's no reason for people to believe that people who haven't gotten the shot yet are going to get it,
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? Are we done for this topic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All
I don't
right.
have anything left to say.
All right. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Simon, Ethan, and Austin, for joining me. And also remember to pray for Joel and his family emergency. That's why he couldn't be here with us. Does anyone want to leave any plugs to anything?
Nope.
Any plugs to your TikToks or any social media or whatever?
You can see me at the Socialistic Superhero on TikTok.
I'm close to 1,000 followers on TikTok, so I'd really like that extra boost. So, you could also put this in the description of the video if you want. But official Ulysses S. Grant on TikTok.
Yes, sir. He is
I'm
literally at 976 followers. So go
Yeah.
drop him a follow. He deserves it. He's a great creator. He's also a great friend of mine. One of my first
you.
friends on political TikTok, by the way. So, thank you so much for joining me. And remember to tune in next week because we will be back. And hopefully Joel will be with us next time.